Hello, welcome to round 3, scenario 2, round 3. We're going to start off by doing a few bookkeeping things, but first what we're going to do is we're going to pick up dice and we're going to take off tokens that we have used. So we'll start off by picking up all our order dice, except for we have 2 units, 2 knight units, 2 Shieldland knight units. We have Yeoman Odo's archers are down, and we have Yeoman Huff's archers that are down. So we're going to have to do what they call a recovery test to see if they pick those dice go back in the bag. So let me get these up all around the table. And I've decided for the scenario that, considering that this is the Knolls' last stand, right, they are not going to flee the field. The only way they're going to flee the field is if Pack Lord Varric himself fails the tests and runs off the field or is defeated. Only then will the Knolls leave the field. So they're going to go until they either are destroyed, or Pack Lord Varric is destroyed, or he flees the field. Then the other Knolls will, there's no reason for them to stay. So to do got all the dice up except for those 2. To do the recovery test, so basically a unit that ends their turn with a down order doesn't automatically return their order die to the bag. You have to make a recovery test. It's exactly the test against the unit's command stat modified for pins is exactly the same way as we had done before. If they pass it, they remove a pin and their unit returns the die to the bag. If it fails, you still remove a pin, but they stay down for that round, so they can't really do anything for that turn until they get to re-roll it again. So let's do the recovery tests here. We're going to do Yeoman Huff's archers first. And Yeoman Huff, find his stack card real quick. So they're command 8, because Yeoman Huff's still around, but they have a pin on them, so that makes them 7. So they have to roll 7 or under to pick, and they do, no problem. So they remove this pin, their die will go into the bag. All right, now we move on to Yeoman Odo's archers on this side, who are also down. They have no pins. And Longbowmen, they're both 2 longbow units. They're command 8, so Yeoman Odo's 8. So they either roll an 8 or under, and they do, and that goes away. So they're all back. They're all back to the back into their fighting forms, if you will, struggling up the basalt monoliths and struggling through the shifting ash, the ash drift hazards of the entire White Plume Mountain. So also we have to go to Il Guilford. He used his, this was he used an honor point, so we're going to take that off. Also, his special roll for the knights was this token, and it said that gives them +1, the +1 command for their first 3 turns. So this is the 3rd turn. This is the last one, and that is gone. That special roll is gone. So if we go over to here, this special roll for the knights. Let me see if I can angle this better for you. this special rule for the knights of using, but it gets +1 morale for their command, that's gone. Now the Knolls still have this. They can reroll their first failed order test. They still have that. That special rule is still in effect. That's called Pursuer's Fury, because they lost the last scenario. So, at any rate, we will... Oh yeah, and also Earl Guilford from last turn, he took a wound. He took a wound. They took 2 pins. And let's see, what else do we have going on? We have pins galore because of the ash drift hazard of White Plume Mountain. But other than that, we're ready to go. All right, let's set this down here, and we are going to get the action started and make sure. Now, let's see. Once again, the Knolls are not going to flee the field. They're not going to break unless Pack Lord Varric is either killed, taken out of commission, or he flees the field. Then the other Knolls will leave, and if he goes, it's already going to be. There's no reason for them to stay. So go into the bag. Go into the bag. It's the Knolls kicking it off. All right, let's do the ash drift hazard. Ash drift hazard. Don't want to roll 1 for the Knolls, or they're going to take a pin somewhere. And no, they're good. All right. So we are going to move on to who should it be? Let's see. We got archers up here. We have that Gnoll unit was recovered. They were rallied by Pack Lord Varric last turn. We have archers up on there. We have a unit of 7 or 8, and we have Inmore, the Desecrator himself, over there. So let's see. I think Pack Lord Varric is going to take the initiative here. Now, you know what? We're going to try to give an order to... We're going to try to give these Knolls up on this basalt ridge are going to take a fire order. And they are going to fire down onto Sir Cratch's unit down here. Oh yeah, they used I got to take this off as well. That's an honor point that they used. Yeah, so this archer unit's going to fire down on them. So, because they're up above, this is going to hurt. Yeah, so their accuracy 4 with their bows. They're up on the basalt monolith, so they get a +1. So now 5s. Oh, they gotta make a roll to see if they can do that. They have a pin. Sorry about that. So they gotta make a. The Gnoll Packmaster is a command of 8. With the pin, that makes him a 7. He needs to roll a 7 or under to take this order. He does. So back to my original thinking. Gnoll archers are accuracy 4. They're not great archers. They're up on a basalt monolith, gives them +1. And because they took a fire order, they get +2. So that goes 4, 5, 6. They have to roll 6 or under. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. So we're looking for 6 or under. There's 3, 4, 5. 6 or under on a Sir Cratch's unit. Yeah, they're not long bows. They're just normal bows. So 6 or under. That's going to be a miss. That's a miss. That's a miss. So we have 2 hits coming in on Sir Cratch's unit. So because they scored a hit, irregardless if they do a casualty or not, they're going to take another pin. And Sir Cratch's unit, now they weren't on a run, so if these guys were running, they would have got another +1 because, or -1 because of the running. If they were either sprinting or running or charging or that sort of thing, they would have been more. The Sir Cratchit would have been harder to hit. It's just a roll, just so that we try to remember. But they weren't on the run; they didn't go first. So anyway, Sir Cratchit's unit they have a resist of 9. Okay. So they have to roll 9 or under because they are heavily armored. 9 or under. Yep, they make it. They take no casualties. Okay. Going back to the bag. Knights. Okay. I think what we're going to do is go with before we do anything, before I make any decisions, we need to roll for the Astrift hazard from the White Plume Mountain. A 1 on a d6. Anybody within the Astrift is going to take a pin. A 5. They're fine. The Knights are good. And while we're on this subject, before we decide what we're going to do with this Knight's order die, we are going to take a close look at our honor points, because I think Sir Cratchit's unit is going to attack again. So they are going to... I'm going to use an honor point to remove a pin. I'm going to remove a pin. I'm going to put an honor point there and take a pin off. So they use their honor point for this round. And Sir Cratchit, of course, is going to take this order, and they're going to take a run order. And then what we're going to do is see, I think they're going to charge this this Gnoll Warrior unit over here. So they're going to take an order test. And they're command 8 with Sir Cratchit as the leader. So their command 8 -1 for the pin, 7 or under. A 1, no problem at all. They passed that test. They removed this pin. Oh, by the way, yeah, these guys lost their pin too, because the archers lost their pin because they passed an order test, if you pass an order test. Okay, so they lose that pin. Sir Cratchit's unit's going to run smack dab into, obviously there is plenty of space for everybody here to fight. We'll get them up because it's going to be an ugly affair. But the Knights are really going to be coming in hard on them because they're using their lances on this attack. So we'll put the tray out. So we got 3 war horses. That's not a roll. We have 3 knights coming in. Okay. So the knights are normally strength 5 because they charged. Yeah. So they're going to be a +1 for the charge. So they're going to be a 6. So they're going to be strength 6 because they charged. So, and that for the war horses, they're also going to be a strength 6. Now, strike value will apply after they see how many hits we got. So we're coming in 3 war horses, 3 knights, 6 or under. 1, 2, 3, 6 or under. So we have 2 horses and a knight misses. And now we're going to do the war horse first. Their strike value 1. Gnoll Warrior unit, they are resist 8 because they have light armor. So 8 for the war horse -1 will be a 7 or under for the war horse because the war horse is strike value 1. So we're looking at 7 or under. They make it. The Warhorse does not affect them. Now, to 2 knights, they get their strike value 3 with lances. So we're looking at 8, 7, 6. They have to roll 5 or under here. And they do. All right, Crash comes piling in there. And nothing happens. Nothing happens. Now, we go back to the Knolls. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Knolls. Okay, 8 Knolls coming in. Now, they're normally strength 5, but because they're using axes, they get +1 strength with an axe, and they're also strike value 1. So we're looking at strength value 5, strength value 6. 6 or under on the knights. 6 or under on the knights for hits. What do we got here? Is this that was a 6 or under? That's a miss, 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 miss. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 hits coming in. 4 hits coming in on Sir Cratch. Okay. Sir Cratch needs to, let's see, we'll do 1 on each of them, and I'll put an extra 1 on Sir Cratch because he's, let's put, here it is. This will represent Sir Cratch. So we have, because he's tough and he gets to re-roll. He gets to re-roll 1 die. So they're looking at, their resist 9, -1 strike value for the axes, which makes them an 8 or under. They need to roll 8s or under here. Okay. So the 2 knights make it. Sir Cratch failed 1, made it past the other, but he's tough. And tough lets him re-roll 1 failed resist test. So he's now, once again, we're back to 9, 8 or under, and he does it. So we have a combat. They just bounce off one another, so that's going to affect things. Yeah, they both bounce off of one another, and because Cratch doesn't have any pins and they don't have any pins, we have no clear winner. So, and therefore, you can only do it says follow-on combat. If both sides survive hand-to-hand fighting, then the winners can decide to continue the fight instead of consolidating. We have a complete draw there. We have nobody with pins, so nobody won that fight. So they are going to consolidate. So this is a draw, so you have to roll randomly to decide which unit consolidates first. So what we'll do is we will give the Knolls are red, the Knights are blue. Whoever rolls highest consolidates first. The Knights consolidate first. And what they're going to do is they're going to go right back to their original placement outside of 3 inches of the steam vent so they don't take any penalties from. So we're looking to put them back to about, right about here. Right about here. So let's do that. We'll use that nameplate to mark it. They can actually come up just a little bit more. So they'll be just outside of 3 inches so they don't take any, they don't have to make a roll for that. So that will move them back exactly to where they were at. So they would move 5 back. So they took that, and this would be, this is an advance. They consolidate here. Okay. So these guys are going to, since they're going to end up probably attacking Cratch's unit, so they don't have an order die. They're going to consolidate. They're going to go forward. Yeah, because I think a consolidation move, it's a normal move, as if an advance order had been given. So they're going to come forward just a little bit in preparation for their assault. They're emboldened that the knights didn't do anything to them. Ha ha! The shield land knight bounced off him. Sir Cratch was a little wore out from last combat, maybe. Let's see. Go into the bag for another die. Knights. All right, let's see who we're going to go with. I think we're going to try to get Odo's archers up, or can they make it up this ridge finally? Can Odo's archers make it up this ridge? Let us see if they can make it, because if they can get up here and maybe take a shot at those knolls. Let me see. Yeah, so we have rough terrain. That's considered rough terrain up there on that basalt ridge. So they're going to have to take an agility test, and that's what made them go down before. But before we do that, we need to take a test for the ash drift hazard. Nope, everybody's fine. And then we have to take an agility test. So they have to pass this. And what we're looking at for Yodo, or Yeoman Odo's archers, they are agility, but we're looking at agility 5. So we need to roll a 5 or under, or their movement's reduced by half. A 1, they do it. Okay, well, they finally made it up on the hill. They finally made it up on the hill. How about that? So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, how archery works, if I'm not mistaken, they can't shoot, these archers can't shoot. These archers cannot shoot, these 3. So we're only going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 archers actually taking a shot. They don't have to take an order test because they don't have a pin. So these guys here are going to, Yamanota's going to shoot at these, this Knoll Warrior unit. But they're going to have some penalties because they actually advanced. So we have, I think they're going to be at long range. Let me take a look, because longbows are a little bit different. Long is 11 inches out. And the closest unit, no, they are going to be, nope, they're going to be, that's going to be considered short range. So their accuracy 5. Yeah, they don't get the +1 for just firing. So they're going to be accuracy 5. Oh, they're up on the thing, so they're going to be accuracy 6. They're up on the basalt ridge, so they're going to be accuracy 6. Okay, well, let's get the die tray over here. We'll drop this back a little so we can see. So their accuracy 6. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 archers coming in. They advanced. They're within short range. Their accuracy 5. They're on a basalt ridge. Accuracy 6. Yeoman Odos of the Shieldlands, the archers of the Shieldlands, laid down a volley of fire on the knolls. We are looking for 6s or under. Okay, oh my. So that's going to be a miss. That's a miss. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. 5 hits on those knolls. They really lit them up pretty good. We got 5 hits on the knolls. The Knoll warrior units resist 8. But get the, oh, they missed one. So this is the Yeoman Odo's longbowmen have Deadeye. And what Deadeye does, you can reroll 1 miss. So we're looking for 6s or under on this 1 die. There's another hit. So we have 7 hits. The knolls are resist 8. Now, because they're longbows, they're strike value 1. So we're looking for 7s or under to hit these knolls. 7s or under. They're all automatically going to take a pin. And you're looking for 7 or under here. That's a fail. That's a fail. That's a fail. 7 or under, they pass these. So they lost 3. They lose 3, but they don't take 3 pins. It's not a hand-to-hand combat. This is just archery, so they're going to lose 3. They don't take any additional pins, but that still hurts. That still hurts that unit quite a bit. Okay. That diminishes that unit quite a bit. And that will conclude Yeoman Odo's fabulous archery round here. Wow. They finally got up on the basalt ridge and laid a firestorm down upon them. Wow. Here we go. Let's see what we got. Knights again. All right, who are we going to go with here? Tactically, we are going to, let me see. I think we're to continue with the offense on this side. I think what we're going to do is, no, you know what? Since those archers fired, I think we're going to give Sergeant Olivard here. Sergeant Olivard's unit, he's going to take a, Sergeant Olivard of Rainart is going to take a, no, he's going to take an advance order and move 5. Yeah. Because if he started a run order and he's within 3, he's just going to advance. They're just going to advance up. So we're looking at, let's do it this way. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we got 1 coming up. He's going to come up to here. And let me get you on this side so we can see how they're maneuvering around this. 3, 4, 5 will put him up here. Yeah. Yeah, they're outside of 1 inch. So all of our units going to be maneuvering up. They took an advance order. They're not running. This belongs to those guys. Who is next? Who's next? Knights again. Okay. The Knights are on the move. I think we're going to go with Sergeant Gerlig's unit over here. The Knights. And they are going to use an honor point to take away a pin. I'm going to give them a run order. But first we need to make the roll for a D6 for the Ash Drift. Uh-oh. somebody has to, who's it going to be? Let's see here. Who's it's going to be? I think what we're going to do is give Father Abuzio over here will take the pin. There's a little rumble. The ash shifts around, and he takes a little bit of a stumble. But, however, that takes care of that. Sir Gerlig, before he does anything, he has to take a order test. I'm sorry, Sir Gerlig, as I was. Sir Gerlig of Walworth. He is going to, he's command 8, -1 for the pin. He is command 7. And they're zealous, so they ignore pins when taking break tests, but they also rerule a failed order test. So they're knights, of course, right? So we're looking at command 8 -1 for the pin is 7. He needs to roll 7 or under, and he gets to rerule this. A 10. Guess what? He rolled a 10. He cannot rerule this. He cannot rerule this. Somewhere along the line, either through Cratch or Sir Oliver, all the way over here from Guildford, the order didn't make it through, and there's hesitation on their part. They can't do anything. They go down. They have failed an order test. They cannot re-roll the 10. You cannot re-roll a 10 no matter what. Okay? That's a rule. A 10's a 10. A 10 stands. Now, I think they take a pin off when they go down. We're going to double check. Yeah, if you fail the unit, fails an order test, removes 1 pin, and then makes a down action rather than the order being given. So, they remove a pin and they go down. Well, they got rid of the pin. However, that's significant because they are sitting ducks. Maybe this steam vent caused trouble. They were trying to give out orders and it went off and they couldn't hear. Who knows? Who knows? But welcome to the foothills of the White Plume Mountain, I guess, right? Welcome to the foothills of the White Plume Mountain. Going back to the bag, that was a wasted order for the Knights. See who's up next. See if the Knolls take advantage. No. The Knights go again. I just knocked one of my archers over. The Knights go again. So we're going to go over here. Well, before we do that, of course, we'll take our test for the ash drift. Maybe the ash drift affected those guys. I don't know. All right, we're good. The Knights are good on this turn. But Sergeant Rundle on this side, Sergeant Rundle over here on this side of the ash of the steam vent, he sees Enmore over there, and he's gonna try to run. He's gonna take a run order. Now they don't have to make a test because they don't have any pins, but because they're within 3 inches of that geyser field, any unit within 3 inches of it must take an agility test to run or charge. So let's see. Let's see if Rundle can get it done. Sergeant Rundle of Greyhawk. Their agility 5. You have to roll a 5 or under. Under. A 4. They're good. So the steam vent goes off. Well, it's been going off. They never not go off. They're never not going off. They're going to run up 10, as we can see here. They are easily going to be all over Enmore and his hyenas. Boom, 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 boom. And then we'll put the hyenas here like they're surrounding him. They come in for the charge. All right, let's see what we got going on here. I'm going to be out of space. Maybe I can roll over here. I can see that. I think so. Yes. They'll take a run order. Charge up here. Here comes Rundle of Greyhawk. Let's see what he can do. They're charging. 5 sergeants coming in. We'll use blue die for them. no war horses, tough, medium armored, with swords. Swords give a strike value of 1, a strength of +1. So we're looking at 6 or under to smack into more of the Desecrator. There's 6, they're 5 +1 for the sword, +1 for the charge. That makes them 7 or under. 7 or under coming in on Imor. That's a hit. Hit, hit, hit. We got 4 coming in. This is an 8. They missed that one. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 come in. And we're going to go with the 4 on the hyenas. They're going to be like, they're like the guard dogs, right? They're going to be the spirit hyenas. Now there is a such thing that they could have used a ranged attack if they were coming in. I chose not to do that. So there is such a thing as it's not pass through fire, right? It's whenever you charge somebody, you can do a what do they call it in here? They call it something else. That's a spell on Imor's part, so he has to take an action. He has to do an action in order to do that spell. So he can't use that spell for that. But the hyenas, the spirit guide hyenas, can do an exchange of missiles, right? So they can do an exchange of missiles. They're spirits, so they're automatically destroyed if Imor the Desecrator is slain. And they also can be sacrificed in exchange for a reroll, can fight hand to hand, and can make ranged attack during exchange of missiles. So that's what they're going to do. Now, they're going to be, their strike value 1 in the exchange of missiles. So we'll do the exchange of missiles first. This is the Knight's hits. So we know what they did. This is going to be, I think we might have to remove these figures before. We'll have to double check that. We may have to re-rule that. So the Knights don't get an exchange of missiles. However, the spirit hyenas do. So once Sergeant Rundle's unit has completed their move, we have to we do the ranged attacks. So we have to work out the shooting for the spirit guides before removing casualties and placing any pins. And they don't get an accuracy bonus for aim shots. Okay, so let's see. They are accuracy 6 for the 4 hyenas. So we're going to use these 4 red dice for the hyenas. They have to roll 6 or under. This is for the exchange of missiles as they ran up. That's 2. So these knights are going to take a pin, no matter what. But they need to roll. We'll give 1 to Sergeant Rundle of Greyhawk because he's tough. He can re-roll one of these. So that's Sergeant Grundle. We'll do him first. He can re-roll this. So he's resist 7. He's good. And then the other knight, they're also resist 7. They're good. So there's nothing other than taking a pin because they did make some hits. Now that pin's significant because it's going to make a difference of who wins this combat or not. However, we have 4 attacks coming in. These were all hits. And we're going to give them all to the spirit guides because they were up front throwing out their ghostly bolts at Sergeant Rundle's unit as they were running up charging on the Imor, and they surrounded Imor to protect him. So the spirit hyenas have a resist of 6, and the swords are a strike value 1, so they have to roll 5s or under. 5s or under here to see. 2, 1, that's a 6, and 8. They need 5s or under. So they've passed 1. They failed 3. So they're going to lose 3 spirit hyenas are going to come off the table. 1, 2, and 3. And they are going to take 3 pins. But not until they get their physical attacks against the knights. So we're going to have Imor is going to, so we had We had 1, 2, 3. We're going to have these are the 4 hyenas before they came off the table. And then we'll give Imor a purple die. So Imor, he has a staff. He's +1 strength. So he's strength 7. He has to roll 7 or under. So he needs a 7 or under. And the hyenas are strength 6. So they're going to be rolling 6 or under. They get 1 hand-to-hand. Yeah, that's it. So we'll do Imor first on on Sergeant Runder's foot retainers. So we got, what did I say? 7 or under. All right, he hits. And the hyenas, before they got crushed, they are going to get their hand-to-hand in, and they are strength 6. You have to roll 6 or under. We got 1, 2, 3. Okay, all the hyenas hit. So before they were taken off the table, the knights took a beating too. This would all have been done at the same time. So the knights would have, the run up for the exchange of missiles was done. That had no effect. But the attack on Imor's unit resulted in a loss of 3 hyenas. But those hyenas still get to attack. So it's all simultaneously. So all these hit. So we need to do some assignments here. We're going to give Imor. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh. Okay, everybody. So we'll give Imor's attack is going to go on Sergeant Rundle. And then these knights will go. He's over here. Here's Rundle, I think. Yeah, from Greyhawk. Rundle's over here. I think we got 2 from Greyhawk. We do. We'll put Rundle over here. So let's do Sergeant Rundle first. There's no strike value to the staff. So Rundle needs to roll 1 or under, and he's tough. So Rundle, he's fine. No problem. Rundle makes it. All right, my knights. The knights from the hyenas. Now, the spirit guides are strike value 1. So we're looking at, for the retainers, we're looking at 6 or under. Hope they don't lose any of them. They don't lose any retainers. 6 or under. They lost 1. So we're going to take him out. He's gone. That's going to be an additional pin on them. But if you look at the pins, the pin difference, 3 to 2. Okay. 3 to 2. They lost the combat. Imor's unit lost the combat, so they need to make the side has the greatest number of pins, which is Imor. That includes all the pins were defeated. They have to make a break test. So his break test, we got to roll D10, modified for the pins. So this is a big deal. So break test for Imor, he's command 8, 7, 6, 5. He needs to roll a 5 or under here. He does not. He doesn't. He failed it. He's going to suffer an additional D6 pins. They're going to take another pin. That takes them to 4 pins. They become routed. They are not going to do a follow-on combat. These guys get routed. These guys are routed. Imor routes the table. Let me get over there and put that routed marker on him. So let's take a look at this. They're going to run, what is their movement? So, yeah, they're moving 10 inches. They have turn till and run. They are routed. They're heading out of there. Imor's unsure of himself, so they're not going to do a follow-on combat with them routing. They're going to consolidate though, and what they're going to do is they're going to consolidate. They are going to consolidate. Let's move this up here to see what we're gonna do here with these. Rundle got them routed. He failed his. Did he fail it, or did he just decide he didn't want to mess around with? He sees the writing on the wall, and Moore's like, "I'm out of here, man. We're in trouble." So they're going to consolidate right up to here, and you know what they're going to be doing. They got that unit surrounded, so we'll give them an advance order. And they're going to let them. Sergeant Reynolds is going to let them run off the table. Let them run off the table. Now, they can't lose pins like the Knights do because they're not a Knight unit. They can't use honor points. So that's interesting. That's interesting. All right, back to the bag. Knights again. Man, the Knights are just on the move. Okay. Let's see what we got going on here. We got Father Abuziel over here. Let's see, what can Father Abuziel do? You know what? We're going to give this to Earl Guilford's unit. Okay. And he is going to immediately spend an honor point. So we used 1, 2. This would be the third honor point used. He's going to do that. He's going to remove that pin. That does that. He used an honor point for that. However, we're down to 2 honor points left. And there's still time left in this game, so that might be a thing. But anyway, he's going to try to take an advance. He's going to try to... Earl Guilford Jr. is going to try to advance up. He's not going to try to run heavily armored on war horses within 3 inches of this vent. But he wants to get on that objective. He's going to call out Pack Lord Varric. Anyway, we go to the leader himself, the Lord Knight, Sir Guilford, Earl of Raynaud, who has unfortunately lost his son, one of his sons in the battle already. And he is... So he also is zealous. His unit, the whole unit is zealous. They reroll failed order tests. He's tough, heavily laden, but that's taken away because of the war horses. He needs to take a test. So let's get this out here. He needs to make a test. He's probably going to use the follow order as well, which is he can issue an order to someone else within a certain range. No, he's not, because they have to take the same order he does. And he's not going to do that. So he's not going to use this follow. He's just going to advance up onto the objective. But in order to do that, he needs to make he gets to re-roll a failed order test. So he's taking an advance order. He's banking to see if he gets it. It needs a 7 or under. He does. That removes that pin. He's taking a wound already, so he has to be careful what you're doing there, Sir Guilford. And he is going to move up onto this objective. Calling out Varric and say, let's just get this over with, man. Let's just get it done. Oh, by the way, he has +1, so he actually needed, instead of needing a 7 or under, even with the pin, he needed an 8 or under anyway. He passed it, so it's irrelevant. Now he has no pins on him, and that takes care of Earl Guilford. All right, that takes care of the Knights. Back to the bag. Finally, we got some knolls. What do we got here? In order to protect the relic, up on the hill, we're going to give this order to these knolls to fire down onto that unit. And let's see who they're going to fire at. First of all, they're going to take... Oh, did I do the... I have to go back and double check. Did Guilford roll? I don't know. I don't think he rolled for his. Let's get back to Guilford here. This is Sir Guilford's roll. D6 for the ash waste. He made it, and then the Knolls ash waste. They made it, so they're okay. But they're still going to take a order test. So we got Knoll archers up there. They're going to take the order test. Their command 8, -1 for the pin. See if they take this order, fire order. Yep, they're good. So yeah, they're going to take a shot. And these guys are going to shoot at, in particular, they're going to go after Sergeant Otha's unit over here. And they have to be, they're using regular bows, so I think 10 inches is what their range is. I have to double check it though, just to make sure. So regular bows are, long range is 10 to 20, so I think they're going to be at long range. Maybe. Closest to closest, yes. So they're at long range. Oh, they lose this pin because they passed their fire order. So we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 5 archers. 4, 5. Their accuracy 4. -1 for long range. Makes them a 3, but they're shooting on top of the ridge. They're 4 or under. Yeah, let me double check the... Just want to give it real quick. For some reason, I'm thinking I'm missing something, but probably not. Yeah, -1. So they're 4. Takes them down to a 3. Up on the basalt ridge, gives them back up to 3. 4s are under. Missed. As expected. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. I need to roll one more. Yes. That's going to be all misses, and that concludes their turn, and they are done. Okay, continuing with the round. Just got everything charged up. We're back at it again, and going back to the bag. And we got knights.
Ready to serve, my lord.
Back up. Going to roll for the ash drift hazard. D6. A 2. They made it, just barely. Unaffected by the terrain. Now, I think what we're going to do over here is, I think Sir Gossett's unit is going to make a, they're heavily laden, so they can't sprint, but they can run. So I think I'm going to give them a run order, but they're by that, they're by a geyser field, so any unit within 3 inches of the geyser field must test agility to run or charge. And if they fail it, they only get half move, so they'd only be able to move 5 instead of 10. So let's take a look at Sir Gossett's knight unit. They're heavily laden, so Sir Gossett of East Fork, where is he over here? There he is, and he has a compatriot with him as well from East Fork. But anyway, they're going to have to make it. Their agility 4, so they have to roll 4 or under on a D10. We'll get this back out again to move up on those archers and try to engage them at some point up on that hill and try to recover that relic. trying to be doing the heroic thing, right? So they need agility 4, or they're not going to run. A 7. They don't. The guys are feeling trembling and shaking. It causes them to stumble a bit. So instead of running, and they're only going to get 5 out of this instead of 10. So, but they're heading up. So let's go here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, and put him right up in there. Sir Gossett took it a run order. Okay, they're trying to get that holy relic that's up on that was taken from last campaign or the last battle report. They're trying to get this holy relic back up here that the Knolls are guarding on the back. It's a big deal too. Okay, going back to the bag. See if I can. Oh wait, well they have no pins, so they didn't have to take an order to do anything. And I don't think I'm running a little bit low on honor points, so I have to be yeah, I have to be a little bit careful with what I'm doing with the honor points here. We burned through them to get rid of pins and stuff, mostly from the Ashdrift Hazard, if I remember correctly. Okay, going back. Knights again. Okay. Who are we going to go with? Let's do our Ashdrift Hazard roll. The Ashdrift Hazard from the White Plume Mountain. 2. They make it. That unit, whatever I choose, has made it. And we're going to give this to, I think what we're going to do is give this to, I think Father Abuzio is going to take this. Now, he has a pin. He's not a hero and they're not a knight unit. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to move Father Abuzio up. I'm going to give them an advance order. When Father Abuzio is going to have to, and his supplicants, he's going to have to, his 2 supplicants, they're going to have to make a, let's see, since they're by that, I'm not even going to roll for them. They're agility 5. They could probably sprint, but they don't really need to. So I think I'm just going to move him up to, let me see if you can see here. There he is down there. I think he's going to launch some clerical magic at those knolls on top of that hill. But for starters, he's going to move. He has a command of 9. Let's see. He also has divine intervention, so I'm going to check that real quick. Yes, so divine intervention allows me, if I'm within 20 inches of an enemy unit and they pull their die of any unit within 20 inches of Father Abuzio, divine intervention lets me make an attempt to steal their order die and take an order, but you can only do that once per turn. So he is within 20. Well, he's going to move up first. Let's just do that first. And it's during that player's turn to steal their die when it's drawn. So we have to move him up 5. And then I think he's going to do, we'll move him up to here. Let's see. I'll take him up to about here. He has a clear line of sight with his supplicants. I'm going to move the flag up with him. Oh, I got to make a roll, so let's see if he can take that order. He has to roll an 8 or under for that. So let's do that right now. For the Buzio is command 9. He has 1 pin, which makes it an 8 or under. He needs to roll an 8 or under. A 3, he's fine. He loses that pin for passing that test. He moves up 5. Okay. So he makes that advance. And now he's going to launch a bolt of righteous steel up there at those archers up there. So basically, it's 20 inches. There's no problem there. As a matter of fact, he may instead of launching a bolt of, let's move this over to here a little bit and get a better view of what's happening. Father Abuzio. instead of Father Abuzio launching the Righteous Bolt, he may try to eliminate this unit over here and take them out to open the path for Earl Guilford and Pack Lord Varric to go 1-to-1. The archers are a threat, though, so and they're trying to, you know what? He's going. Father Abuzio, knowing that relic's up there, would definitely try to take out those archers first. So that's what he's going to do. So he's going to cast Bolt of Righteous Steel into the. He's already successfully passed his order. So now he's going to do this. He's going to make a spell check, and that's going to be a 7 or under to cast the Bolt of Righteous Steel. A flash of blue force manifests as a spectral sword hurled by Heronius' judgment up at the archer, the Knoll archers up at the top. So we're looking for a 7 or under. This is what took out the catapult. 4, it goes off. Okay, it inflicts an automatic hit at D3 plus his magic level, strike value. So D3, 2, it's 3 strike value. So they need to make, they need to take, it's an automatic hit. So they're going to get a pin for that. They're going to get a pin for the automatic hit. And then they need to make a strike value 3 hit. So let's take a look at the Knoll archers here. Their resist 7, so they're going to need 7, but because it's -3 because of the bolt, they need to roll 5 or under here and take a casualty. They do. They don't take a casualty. However, the most important part about the Bolt of Righteous Steel is that unit must take a break test, and they already have 1 pin. So let's take a look here. And they need, for their break test, their command 8, so they're going to need a 7 or under because of the pin. So you need 8 or 7 or under because of the pin. A 1. No problem at all. They're fine. So they passed the break test, and Father Abuzio is finished for his turn, and we're going back to the bag. Didn't work that time, Father Abuzio. Maybe next time. Okay, Knolls. Let's see here. Who do we got over? We don't have much left. We have 1, 2. Yeah, let's go over here. Let's move this to here. Let's take a real close look at our Knolls. Imwar is routed. Imwar the Desecrator, the Shaman, he's routed. We have that Knoll unit up, archer unit up there. They shot already. We have that unit of Knolls up there. They shot. Pack Lord Varric, and we have this other Knoll unit. That other Knoll unit here. Next to Pack Lord Varric. So let's take a look here and see. I think Varric is going to try to intercept. Let's do a die roll here. Let's do this. Let's do a fate check. How about that? Let's do our little fate check. We're going to take a peek at. We're going to make a decision on what Pack Lord Varric is going to do. And we're going to go over here to the die tray. Let me kick his back a little ways, and we're going to go to the fate chart. And I use this fate chart to make decisions in game. Right? Okay. So Pack Lord Varric, is he going to charge the knights, or would he send in that rallied unit to try to send them in as fodder initially into Earl Guilford and to try to hold that objective? I think that there's 50-50. I would say it's mildly it's mildly likely. So we're going to roll 1 additional die and add any pluses to the final result. Is it likely that he's going to send those guys in? And we're looking for positives to decide. So, well, the positive is going to be that die, and that's going to be only count if that's a positive, not a negative. Any plus on here, any of these is added to the final result. So Is it? It's mildly likely that he would send them in first, given that they lost the last scenario. And let's see. Yes, so that only adds if it's a positive. So yes, he's going to send them in. Fate has decided that Pack Lord Varric is in fact going to send that Knoll unit in as fodder. So we're going to go back over to here, and that unit is going to try to charge into and make a delay action against uh, Earl Guilford and his crew. But they got 3 pins on them. So, but they also have over here as the Knoll special rule, Pursuer's Fury. Whichever side lost scenario 1 gained this special rule, and it's driven to charge first field order test may be re-rolled. Note, and that's what they got. So we're going to go to, that's the only one they have left before that card flips. So let's go to here. Let's drop it in, and we're going to go to that Knoll Warrior unit. Yes, the command unit's gone. So we're going to go with here. Let's take a look at this here, and the Knoll Warrior unit has to make a order test, but they can use Pack Lord Varric's command, and their command 8, which is the same. The Knoll Chieftain, Pack Lord Varric, his command is 8, but so is the Knoll Packmaster. His command is an 8 as well. So it doesn't really matter. So it's going to be an 8 modified by 3 pins. They have to roll a 5 or under to take this order. Let's see if they agree to this. 2, they do. They're scared of Varric and reprisals from not following his orders. So they're going to charge into Earl Guilford's unit. So let me go over here. We're looking at, they're going to do a sprint. It's going to be 15. They're not near anything. But before I do that, I got to see if they take another pin because of the ash drift hazard. Nobody takes a pin. And now they're going to run 15. And that will easily put them within, because they're like, there's 10 right there. So I'm going to go over the other side and boost them up into there and get on with this combat. Well, they're certainly probably not going to win this combat. They already have 3 pins on them. And they're facing off against well-armed and mounted knights. You think Varric cares? No, I don't think he cares at all. I think Varric is sending them in here as fodder to soften up for Guilford to do the final blow to try to take out his nemesis Earl Guilford of the Shieldlands. All right, we're going into combat. Here. So yeah, and they didn't have to use their driven to charge Pursuer's Fury pin or bonus that they got. All right, so let's go to, I'm going to move back here a little bit so we can fit everything in for this combat. Get my dice tray out for this one. And we got 3 Knolls, 3 Knoll Warriors. So let's grab 3 red dice. Coming in, Strength 5. They get Strength 1 for the sword, so they're 6. Strength 6. And they're looking for 6s or under. These swords have a strike value of 1 on 3 of the knights. So let's see. Here we go. 6 or under. That's a big miss. That's a hit. And that's a hit. So they hit twice with their swords. Now we're going to give, we'll give 1 to everybody except, well, not everybody, but we'll give 1 to Sir Ulick, and we'll give 1 to Sir York, Constable of Walworth. So let's take a look here. They are resist 9. So they have to roll a 9 or under. And they already used, if you see over here, they see the little green, like a little green marker, means that they can't use any honor points for any part of this. And 9 or under. We get a 6 and a 4, they're fine. Guess what? The knights and horses are fighting back. Let's do this. We're going to do 3 knights, and Earl Guilford will be red. And then the off-color dice will be for the war horses. So we got a lot of stuff. Earl Guilford gets, actually, he is 3 hand-to-hand. So he's going to get 3 red dice. So here we go. This is for the knights. Earl Guilford's red. The other 3 knights are blue. Let's do that. And what are we looking for? We're looking for, they're using their swords. So they're strength 5, +1 for the swords, which gives them a 6. We're looking for 6 or under. Guilford hits twice. That's a clear miss. That's a clear miss. 6 or under. That's good. This is no good. And now the war horses are, they're 1. They each get 1 attack. And they have a strike value 1, but their 5s are under. We're looking for 5s or under for the horses to trample. We have a 2. That's 1. 5 or under. 5 or under. And all the horses, man, just trampled these guys. Just overtook them. Okay, so the no warrior unit, they're in trouble. They resist 8, but the swords have strike value 1, and so do the war horses. So they need to roll 7s or under on all of this. Or, yeah, let's see what happens. 7 or under. Nope. Yes. They makes it. No. Yes. Yes. 7 or under. 7 or under. So we have 2 failures. 2 war horses trample. So 1, 2. Yeah. 7 or under. That's correct. Okay. So we have 2 failures that can't be re-rolled. So they're going to lose 2 Knolls. See you, fellas. Take it easy. You've been trampled. And they're going to take 2 pins because this is a combat. They lost the combat. All right. And now they're up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're going to take a break test. I think they're going to be routed again. We'll say the leader's the only one left. He'll be the only one left. So he's going to make a break test. Let's see if he can do it. Can you see that? Yeah, okay. So he's going to make a break test. And let's go up here, get a little better view. There we go. Okay, so no worry unit is command 8 minus 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. They have to roll 3 or under. Of course he did not. He fails that break test. He's going to suffer D6 more pins. This could actually take him off the field. It's either destroyed or he's going to become routed. So he's going to suffer an additional, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If he rolls 3, he's gone. 1. Okay, he's routed. He's going to take an additional 1 pin. He's going to take an additional pin. He is routed. Get a routed marker, which means he turns and runs tail off of that objective, and he is going to take his order die out of the bag. So the only one left is going to be Varric for this round. This will be epic. This will be epic. So we're going to get the die bag out here. Take that Knolls. Give him a run order since he's routed. And I'm going to go on the other side. Move him back 10. They go back. He runs back 10. Oh, wait, yeah. Yeah, this is immediately. So, yeah. So he's going. Bye-bye. Varric might kill him himself as he goes by. He'll take that run order. He'll take his pins. All of his pins. He's got a collection of them here. And then put him back here. And he's like, that didn't go so well, friend. Did not go so well. And that's that. And then we're going back to the bag. Back to the bag. Knights. We do have... I think Yeoman Huff, they're up on here. Maybe they can take an order this turn. and actually get a shot at those archers over there. I don't know, but they're pretty far away. These archers over here, up on the ridge. So we might be able to see, if you could see here, we got Otha's or Sergeant Yeoman Huff's archers here. Let's go over here. Let's go on this angle here instead. See if we can get everybody in here. Yeah, that's a heck of a shot here. Let's see what the ranges are on those longbows. Longbows have a little bit longer range, but they could take the fact that they would take a shoot order. They are not in the. Also, we don't have to take an ash test. Oh yes, we do. We do have to take that. I'm sorry. We have to do the test. Let me see here. We'll put that right here. D6, a 4. Everybody passes that. There's no ash drift hazard issues going on. So let's see. These archers here. I'm going to double check. Let me take a look here and see. There's a difference between longbows and normal bows. Of course there is. Of course there is. Yeoman Huff's longbowmen. So they can get up to 30 inches. So how far out are they? Oh yeah, that's long range. Definitely long range. But they're going to take that. They're going to take a fire order. All right. And then we're going to get this out so we can see the rules. We'll put that. Let's go in a little bit more here. Yeah, we'll put that right there. So Yeoman Huff's archers. Let's see how many guys are going to get shots though. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're only going to get 4 shots. So Yeoman Huff's in the back. So we're just going to go with the regular archers. We're going to go. We have 4 shots up in the front because these guys can't shoot from behind other units. So these 4 up front are going to get 4 shots coming in at. They are accuracy. I have to double check one thing because I'm thinking their accuracy is better than that for some reason. Yeah, they're accuracy 5. They're accuracy 5. They're across the board. Okay, so they're accuracy 5. They're -1 for long range, so that takes them down to a 4. But they're +1 because they took a fire order, which gives them back up to 5. They're dead eye, so they can reroll 1 miss. Okay, here we go. So looking for 5s and under, we have 2 hits. They get to reroll 1 miss. They cannot reroll a 10. Reroll this, 5 or under. Nope, they still don't get it. So the gnolls up on top of the hill. Those gnoll archers are. I don't think they're very well. They resist 7, and because they're using longbows, the Yeoman Huff's longbows are strike value 1. So we're looking for 6 or under on them gnolls up there. Yep, they make it. So Huff launches a small rain of arrows upon them, and the gnolls successfully evade that. How about that? Okay, they're holding tough on that objective up there, on the knight's objective. And I think maybe the gnolls may have given up on doing their ritual. They just don't have the people to be able to get over to where Yeoman Odo is over here. And they don't have the people here. Yeoman Odo's unit. That this is where they're supposed to do their ritual. The gnolls rituals that's supposed to take place, and they're not going to be able to do that here. So let's take a look. See here. So we go back to the bag. I hit something on my camera here. It put a little like a lighted thing on it, and I don't want that. Okay. Anyway. I think I just have to click it. Anyway, okay. Hopefully it doesn't affect the video. Knights. Okay, who we got? We got Earl Guilford over here. I know we don't. I'm sorry. We got Sergeant Otha's unit over here. And they're going to swing over here to... Sergeant Otha's unit is going to swing over here. And he's going to... Where am I? I'm screwing this up. Sergeant Otha's unit's going to go, and he's going to advance, but he's going to pin, so they need to make a check. Oh yeah, they're going to do the ash drifts hazard check for 5. They're fine. They're good. They're going to try to take an order. Sergeant Oath is going to try to get up here to that marker. Let's see. Sergeant Otha. They're command 8, so he's going to need... He's command 8, -1 for the pin. Is going to be command 7 to move forward. He does. He's able to get movement, and he is going to... Let's see. Can he sprint? No. Yeah. Sprint. Let's see. Let's see if he can sprint up there to engage them archers. He's going to lose this pin for taking that. And I'm not sure, but he might be able to sprint up to that rock and attack them. Here's 5, 10, 15. I don't think he can sprint up to that rock. Let's take a look at him to be fair about this. They're wearing medium armor. They're going to run up to the stone, and then next turn they can go up. So they're going to be able to move up. Oh, yeah, let me check. 5. Yeah, let's get them at the base of this. So they're going to run, take a run order, get up there. Yeah, that sounds fair. They're wearing what they're wearing medium armor, so they're not going to be able to sprint up there and do that. They'll have to take an advance order to get up there on that bluff, and I believe that's the fairest thing to do. All right, back to the bag. There's only one unit left, and that's Pack Lord Varric. Okay, so is Pack Lord Varric? Here's where it gets funny. We're going to go back to the fate die. So Pack Lord Varric sees that unit run in. They get decimated, right? So Pack Lord Varric is like, okay. He sees that unit, what's left, the leader running back, sees the other guys get killed. The No Warrior unit's running past him again, screaming, trying to get back off the field. Now, Pack Lord Varric can rally him, or he can charge into Guildford himself. We're going to see, is Pack Lord Varric legitimately a coward or afraid of this combat? And because he lost last time, and knowing how chaos is, there's a good chance that he charge into Earl Guilford's unit. It's been determined that Pack Lord Varric has had enough, and he is going to charge into this final battle. Could make or break the so he can move 15, and they're going to take a run order. He's not going to try to rally this guy. Let me get the camera moved here so we can put it on this epic battle between them. So Pack Lord Varric is going to move up. 15. They are going to attack. 5, 10, 15. Varric, he's coming in. 5, 10, 15. He's going over here. And Varric's in there. They're all coming in. Pack Lord Varric, here it is. Okay, I'm going to move their banner with them to keep the flavor going. Here we go. The gods have decided. They take a run order. They sprint up into Earl Guilford's unit. Let's get some die rolling here. Let's get some dice rolling. I'm going to pull back a little bit to give us some space for the dice. Check it out. We got the banners going. We got the whole thing going. We're going to go right here. Okay. Here it is. Earl Guilford. It's finally here. They're squaring off. All right. This could be it. Pack Lord Varric, Earl Guilford. The final play of of this round. We have Guilford's already been wounded. He's got his last. He has +1 command. Earl Guilford has +1 to his command for this, or +1 command for this round, for this fight in case if he needs it. We are going to go with Pack Lord Varric because he's the one that charged. He's tough 3. He has command, follow. He has 3 hand to hand. So these are going to be for Varric, right? He has wound 2. He has a big axe, strike value 2, and he has light armor. The Knoll guards with him have big axes with their strike value 2, and they are lightly armored. Of course, Pack Lord Varric is tough. He rerolls failed resist test. He's tough 3. He can reroll 3 failed resist tests, but not the same one more than once. He has command. Friendlies within 10 inch can use the model's command stat to take command based tests. Follow. Friendly unpinned units within 5 inches can follow the unit's order immediately, and wound 2 can lose up to 2 lives before further resist fails slays. Can't recover pins beyond wounds suffered. And that was the same thing with Earl Guilford. He's already taken a wound, so we have to remember that. So we got 3. And we got 2 for the. Here's 2 more for the Knoll guards that are with him in his retinue. So Pack Lord Varric is strength 7. Yes, he's strength 7. He doesn't get any bonuses to that because only those axes give him. The axes only give them each of those. All the Knolls only get a strike value of 2. They don't get any pluses to that. So we're looking for 7s for Pack Lord Varric, 7 a runner for Pack Lord Varric, and 6 a runner for the Knoll guards. Missed. That's going to Pack Lord Varric's going to hit once. He's going to miss, and then the other Knoll hits. So we're going to come in. We got 7 or under. These are all misses. So Pack Lord Varric hits once, and we have 1. We'll put this one on Sir Ulic. So Ulic will take this, and Earl Guilford will take that. Okay, so Earl Guilford's going to go with his roll first. Let's see if he can. So he can re-roll this. So he's tough 2. So his resist is a 9. 8, 7. He needs to roll a 7 or under because the axes are their strike value 2. So 9, 8, 7. He has to roll a 7 or under. A 2. He does it. Yeah. Defends against that. And then we have Sir Ulic, the Marshal of Greyhawk. He's also resist 9. He needs to roll a 7 or under. Uh-oh. He fails that. Let's see. Did they have anything else? No, they don't. Yeah, they have. The knights only have fast 8, warhorse, heavy armor, heavily laden, zealous, which means they can ignore pins when taking break tests, or reorder a failed order test, swords and lances. So we're gonna lose a knight. We're gonna lose Sir Ulic, the Marshal of Greyhawk, is out of there. We're just gonna put him on his side. There's the first casualty. Okay, we're gonna give them a pin for that loss. Now the knights fight back, but before he goes down, he gets his attack too. So we're going to go with the knights. The return fight. We got 3 for Sir Guilford. Earl of Raynaud gets 3 hand to hand, and then we had 1, 2, 3 for the knights for their hand to hand, and then we're going to have 4 war horses coming in on them to trample, stepping on their paws, their limbs. Okay. Now, because they're fighting with swords, they're strength 5. They're strength 6 with swords. And the knights. Well, so let's do the knights. Let's just roll it up, and then we'll do all the pluses and minuses. So we're looking for low numbers, though. That's what we're looking for. If you want the knights to win. Okay, we're going to immediately pull out any 10 that don't count. So Earl Guilford is looking for 6s or under. That's going to be a miss. Guilford hits once. The horses need a 5 or under, so the horses hit twice. And then the knights need a 6 or under, and all the knights hit. So that's pretty good. So let's see. Let's do this. We have all these are hits coming in, and their strike value 1. Let me ask the question to the fate dice. No, everybody has to take 1. So let's give this out here. Let's give this out. We're gonna get 1, 2, 3. Everybody's gonna take 2. So let's do a random roll. Even the war horses go on Varric. Let's see. This will be even. These are the war horses. So for this one, is this Varric? Even. That's on Varric. Is this one on Varric? It is. So the 2 horses attack Varric, and these guys, everybody else is going to take out 2 horses on Varric, 2 war horses on Varric, 2 knights on each of the. I think so. Let's do Varric first. Varric he has a resist of 8. So good. Luckily, the Knoll Chieftain and the Knoll Guards have the same resist value. So he is resist 8, but he's -1. He's -1. This is for Varric. He's -1. The war horse's hooves because they're strike value 1. So we're looking at 7 or under. He fails 1. He gets to re-roll this because he's tough 3. He can re-roll this. He doesn't make it. He takes a wound. Oh boy, that's a permanent pin. So that's going to be on Varric. Where's he at over here? So perhaps even Sir Ulix, the marshal's warhorse, trampled him as he went down. So Varric takes a wound. He takes a wound. Okay, that's a big deal. And then we're going to do 2. We have 2 knights coming in on one of the 2 hits coming in on one of the Knoll Guards. Their resist 8, -1 for the swords is 7 or under. They make it. And this is also 7 or under. They make it. Okay, look at this. Oh my, oh my, oh my. So we have what we call here a draw. We have a draw. We have neither side won and neither side lost. The total number of pins on each side is 1. So let's go take a quick. We're going to take a peek at this for the combat. And after what it says here for combat is the side that has the greatest number of pins once hand-to-hand fighting is finished is defeated. The defeated units must make a break test and abide by the results of the break test, of course. Draws. If both sides have the same number of pins, which they do, then both are defeated and both must take a break test. We're required to do so. Let's take a look at double checking on the break tests. In any case, if a draw, in the case of a draw, both sides are considered to have been defeated and both must take a break test. Okay. This might come into play for Earl Guilford's unit because he's got that special, he has that special rule giving him a +1 to his command for the advantage of momentum from the last scenario. So that's going to make a big thing. That's going to make an impact here. Okay, let's do the break tests for them. So we're going to do Guilford's unit first, right? So Guilford is command 8, but for this round only, because of the special rule, because of this marker, he's going to be +1. So he's going to be command 9. He has to roll a 9 he'd be 8 -1 for the pin, takes him down to a 7, but then takes him back up to an 8. But they ignore pins when taking a break test. So they ignore that pin. So that takes him back up to so he went from an 8 to a 7 for the pin, but they ignore that. That takes him back up to an 8. And then he has the momentum that takes him up to a 9. He has to roll a 9 or under for his break test. All right, let's do it. He needs a 9 or under. Let's see what happens here. I think we'll just we'll move this big tray out of the way for now. And we'll put the little one up here so we can all see. All right, Guilford, 9 or under. A 5. He makes it. All right. Now we have Pack Lord Varric is command 8. I'm sorry. He's command 8. -1 for the pin, which takes him down to a 7. He has to roll a 7 or under for this break test. Now, that wasn't an order, so they don't remove these pins. Orders are different. When you take an order and you're successful in taking an order, you remove a pin. This is a break test. It's something totally different. He has nothing to benefit him, so he is down to a 7 or under for Pack Lord Varric. Here we go. 7 or under is what he needs. Oh my goodness. Pack Lord Varric failed it by 1 because he's command 8. He's -1 for the pin. Takes him down to a 7. He needed a 7 or under. He rolled an 8. He immediately takes a D6 pin. D6 pins. He takes an additional pin. So he suffered a wound, took a pin, and he is now going to be considered, because he failed it. If the unit fails, the unit suffers a D6 additional pins, which was 1, and is either destroyed, which they're not, or routed as a consequence. Give the routed unit a run order. Yeah. And he immediately makes a 2-movement run order and moves directly as possible towards its own table edge. So he is a coward after all. So he becomes routed. Wow. He becomes routed. So let's go back over to this side and get this meted out. So Pack Lord runs in there like a coward, takes out one of the knights, realizes he's way in over his head, and then he gets scared. He gets scared, and he just decides, that's it. I can't deal with this. And he is routed. I think this might be it. This might be the end here. So he is routed with his crew. They're gonzo. They turn tail and they run. Pack Lord Varric is now routed. He's routed. He's going to take his run order, his pins and his wound. He got wounded. He's like, I'm done with this. Live to fight another day. What a coward. What a coward he is. Coward. You dirty coward, you. It's the second time he's run. He's running with his banner. He's like, out of here. Now, if these, what we'll do here is, if this unit and Immortal Desecrator leave, then these other groups are going to they're going to flee the field as well. We'll have to roll and see, because we'll have to wait and see what happens here for next round, because whoever draws the first dice next round is going to make a big difference in this game. Unfortunately, we lost a knight over here, one of Earl Guilford's. We'll have to roll for him, of course, at the end of the game, see if he's wounded or if he's legitimately dead. Because if these knights are able to get up onto this, if they get an order die, and before, depending on what happens in what order, if they can get up here and get to this relic, they can protect the relic from being taken from the field, which would be a major victory. And they're still holding this objective down here. Guilford did it. All right, so this is going to be an interesting round 4, but let's take a look at everything right now, how things stand. Get my pointer out here. Immor on the run. These knights are advancing, cut from behind on this Knoll unit. Sir Jerlig's units on their flank. Sir Cratch pounding his way through. We have Yeoman Odo up here on the hill, can shoot at those archers. We have Sergeant Oliver next to the steam vent. They still can run and do whatever. Il Guilford's over here. He just defeated Pack Lord Varric, fled the field. He's fleeing the field. We have 3 routed units. We have a no archer unit up here, on the verge of being overtaken by Sergeant Oath's unit. Sir Gossett, Sir Brother Buziel still available. Yeoman Huff. It's not good. The Knolls again were soundly defeated, it would appear. We will see next turn, though, whether or not this relic up here is going to be able to be retained for a total victory. right now it's a victory because of it. It looks like it's going to be. It looks like it's going to be a victory because of uh, the objective was achieved. The crossroads, securing the crossroads, but a major victory will include getting this relic. So we're going to have to go into round 4 and just see how it all plays out. And the first die pulled is going to be the thing, and then we're going to just figure out how we're going to pick up. We'll pick up dice the beginning next round. So that's it. We'll see you in the next round to find out what happens with the Knolls completely and how everything plays out. Take care.